and Jim Faulkner. We will begin with opening statements of 2 minutes each, and at the luck of the draw, Mr. Faulkner will go first.
Thanks, everybody. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm a home improvement contractor, licensed in Yonkers, Westchester, and New York City. I'm also a locksmith, so I should have the keys to everything here. I'm running against Mike Spano because he's been in forever, it seems, the Assembly. And when he was a Republican, he had the excuse that he was of the minority. And yet he took advantage of that, and he did take credit for getting past some things, and that was good, civil confinement and some other reductions. But since he became a Democrat, he has passed $2.4 billion tax increase. He's voted for a reduction of STAR. He has voted for partial birth abortion. He has arranged over and over again, whenever he could, to tax more, spend more, and when he's asked, as I saw in the senatorial debate, how are you going to cut things, he says, well, we have to look at certain things, and we got to be careful. But of course we have to be staunch, and we have to get to the point, but we have to make sure no individual is really hurt too much. And Governor Patterson actually echoed what my solution was. Four debates ago, I told Mike Spano and the people that were there that we can sell oil leases, we can sell gas leases, we can sell them offshore, there's no federal law. Mike Spano immediately objected and said, what about the EPA? So what? Sell the leases. Let the oil companies worry about that. We could get 5 years of no taxes at all, just like Alaska has, just by selling some of our oil leases now. We don't have to guarantee oil. We don't have to guarantee how it's drilled. We don't have to search for it, but we can make money doing it. Mike Spano hasn't come up with any of those things. Mike Spano's been in 14 years, and we have flooded. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous whether you're of the minority party or the majority party. People are supposed to do what we elect them to do, and he's too concerned about being nice. Sweet guy, lovely family man, millionaire, lives in Colonial Heights. That's not my story. Thank you.
Thank you, and good evening. Where do I begin? It is good to be here with you, and I was first start by saying thank you to the League of Women Voters for doing this tonight. I think this should be a very informative session. I'm very glad to get the opportunity to be able to speak with all of you this evening. Jim told you a little bit about me, but let me tell you the rest. Born and raised in the city of Yonkers, and my wife Mary and I are raising our 3 children right here, as a matter of fact, in the Colonial Heights section of Yonkers. And, you know, being one of 16 children, I think I have it doesn't qualify me anymore to be a member of the Assembly, but I think it offers me some insight into the everyday struggles and tribulations that we as Yonkers residents go through. I have worked very hard for you, both in Albany and right here in the city of Yonkers. I'm very active in the community. You'll see me whether it's holding public hearings, holding public forums with healthcare, and with child car safety seat days and events like that. When I'm in the district, if you don't catch me at a soccer game with my kids, but you also see me working full-time as in my office in the city of Yonkers, trying to do the best I can. Constituent services is, I think, the key way of delivering the best services you can to the people. When the issue we have in our office is this: if you have a problem, it doesn't matter if it's a federal problem, a state problem, a county problem, or a city problem, then we need to deal with it. So I worked hard in Albany. I'm looking forward to talking about what we've done in increased state aid to education, what I've done to help prosper and bring about Yonkers Raceway as being very successful for the city of Yonkers, and how I've tried to help with tax relief by helping to create the STAR program. So there's a lot to talk about, and I don't want to run out of time, but I will just tell you that it is great to serve you, and hopefully with your support, I'll continue to serve you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a reminder, in case you didn't hear earlier about the rules, the timekeeper holds up a yellow card when you have 30 seconds left, and a responses. And we don't allow rebuttals, but you may use your next turn if you need to address something or in a closing statement. At this point, we have a question from the League of Women Voters. And the League wants to know, considering the $8 billion budget gap projected in the '09 budget, do you agree with Governor Patterson's mandate of across-the-board budget cuts? Please explain why or why not. And Mr. Spano, you get to go first this time.
I agree with across-the-board budget cuts. Let me tell you why. When you say across-the-board budget cuts, let's not confuse us and think that it's across the board without consideration. But it is across the board. We're faced probably this is probably the most fundamental problem that we have faced in public service in a generation. Our generation will be defined by how we deal with this budget problem that we're facing. $8 billion. You know, when someone sits back and says, well, what would you cut first? When you have an $8 billion budget deficit and a $120-some-odd billion budget, it's safe to say that with $44 billion going to healthcare and almost $30 billion going to education, there's not a lot left to cut. Pretty much everyone's going to feel the pain. One thing's for certain: we're the highest tax community in the entire country. We also have our borrowing is maxed. So we're going to have to really sit down with the unions, with labor. We're going to have to sit down. We're going to have to come up with a budget that